Well, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Deb Sofield, and you're listening to my weekly podcast series called Encouragement for Your Life. Most of you know I'm a national speaker, trainer, and coach. I like to say I help people find their voice and learn to use it. I'm also a conference speaker on the topics of public speaking, presentation skills, how to deal with the media, and crisis communication. I've got a number of other presentations on my website if you'd like to check those out. If your organization has an upcoming conference and you need a keynote speaker, I hope you'll reach out at debsofield.com. I would love to be a part. I've got a number of great books on the market. My best-selling book, Speak Without Fear. My book, Perfecting Your Platform. Both of those are on Amazon and Audible if you like to listen to books. And my series, Encouragement for Your Life, which is a compilation of these podcasts, they're available on Amazon, volumes 1 through 3. Just go into Amazon, type in my name, Deb Sofield, all my books will appear. Thanks for joining me today. I've entitled today's podcast, You Will Never Be the Same Again. I hope you'll stay with me as I get started on today's show. I'll be right back after the break. You'll never be the same again. Steve Jobs said, when you grow up, you tend to get told the world is the way it is, and your life is just to live your life inside that world. Try not to bash into the walls too much. Try to have a nice family, have fun, save a little money. That's a very limiting life. Life can be much broader once you discover one simple fact. Everything around you that you call life was made up by people who were no smarter than you, and you can change it, you can influence it, you can build your own things that other people can use. Once you learn that, you'll never be the same again. Wow, I love that quote. And friend, you can change it, you can influence it, you can build your own things that other people can use, and once you learn that, you'll never be the same again. So, how's your life? I mean, really, go ahead, answer me. Just talk out loud. How's your life? How are you doing? How are you feeling today? See, I think every once in a while we need to stop and talk to ourselves and ask the question that rolls around in our head and hopefully gives an answer that is true. I ask the question from the thought that Steve Jobs states that when it comes to life, you can change it. You can influence it. You can build your own things that other people can use. How cool is that? To build for others once you find your place in the world. Listen, I know many people live in a very controlled world. Your friends live that way. Your family lives that way. Your boss lives that way. So if you venture too far from the farm, you're going to scare some folks. The truth is, when we're growing up, we're told the world is the way it is, and your only option is to live your life inside that world. Friends, that is not true. And I have a serious problem with that worldview. Not because I'm a rabble-rouser, okay, sometimes, but because that's too small of a way to live in such a big, amazing world. And my worry is, in an odd way, happiness is for so many that when the controlled world crumbles away, they fall apart. And then they hit the ground. And then they realize the only way out is up. And that is a great day. Why? Because you'll never be the same again. I know you have responsibilities. And because you're a good person, you honor them. But I also encourage you to do the extra work to build your own things that other people can use. Build a life that leaves a legacy. Build a future for the next generation. Build a firm foundation that can stand strong against the storms of life and shelter you and those you love. So, what big idea that you have that you've thought about would help others? What opportunities have come to you this year, last year, that you're still weighing the pros and cons about? What possible action could you take today to make your life better? Now listen, only you can answer those questions, but I do encourage you to think and hope and dream about leaving the small box that you call your life with your family safely in place and consider doing some things on your bucket list. Now, just for the record, don't do anything that'll bring harm to you and your loved ones. And don't let the pundits talk your ears off about saving money, getting in shape, and eating healthy. No, I'm not about to look over the proverbial fence and see the other side. My job today is to remind you that everything around you that you call life was made up of people who were no smarter than you, and you can change it. You can influence it. You can build your own thing that other people can use. I have the great fortune to be a TEDx speaker coach for the presenters. And one of the many reasons I accept the job is because it puts me one-on-one with those who looked around, didn't like what they saw, and made life-changing decisions for their personal benefit and the benefit of others. I have to admit, I am inspired by the lives of so many who do something in life they felt called to do. And it reminds me that far better is it to dare mighty things, to win glorious triumphs, even though checkered by failure, than to rank with those poor spirits who neither suffer much because they live in the gray twilight that knows neither victory nor defeat. Theodore Roosevelt. I recently saw a TEDx video for Rick Elias. He had the front row seat on Flight 1549, the plane that landed in the Hudson River in New York in January of 2009. In his book, he talks about what went through his mind as the doomed plane went down, down, down towards the Hudson River. With no jet motors running, a stunned silence filled the plane. And then 3 words came across the plane's loudspeaker from the pilot. Prepare for impact. Okay, I'm not going to spoil the ending for you. I hope you look it up on YouTube, and it's a pretty good talk. Sufficient to say, Rick Elias didn't think about his work or his car or his golf game. In those few minutes, his world was made very clear that if he should survive, he was going to get going in life with his kids, his wife, his dreams. And he ends his talk by saying that he hopes no one in the audience would experience what he did. But he hopes you and I will stop waiting for tomorrow and stop living the limited life that others have placed on us and stop thinking that you cannot change your life at any time. In another blog post, I shared a Spanish proverb which states, "Tomorrow is often the busiest day of the week." Friend, I'm here to remind you that today needs to be your busiest day. Today should be the day you make your move, your decision, your promise to yourself that you will change, that you can influence, and that you can build whatever life you choose. Now, if you know me, you know I'm not big on New Year's resolutions because no one keeps them past January 15th. But I do know this from my coaching and speaking to people. When you were younger, you tended to follow the crowd only to become older and wiser and realize the crowd many times did not have your best interest in mind, and you, dear listener, need to set your own direction for life. I know it's hard, especially for many, because our parents had hopes and dreams they wanted us to follow, and for many, they wanted us to do the things they didn't do. I know I've told the story, but my parents wanted me to be in real estate. They knew I was good with people. They thought that would be a good business for me. But after I got my real estate license and started selling homes, I realized I was not cut out for that business because, frankly, I could care less where you put your washer and dryer and outdoor furniture because I have little to no ability to see a blank space and fill it with stuff. It's just not my gift. Through trial and error, I had to find my own way. Admittedly, I failed, and I've been successful. I will say I have rarely been bored, and I've had the good fortune of having a grand time along the way. No doubt, I've been blessed. All of our lives take different paths. You can see this so clearly when you connect with past schoolmates on Facebook. And although they put their best face forward, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see that so many settled for the safe life, where they don't bash into the walls too much, try to have a nice family, have fun, save a little money, and live a very limited life. Hey, and if that's what they feel they should do, good for them. No judgment here. No, really, no judgment here. I don't know your life situation, but I got to say, it's exciting to read about the ones who discovered one simple fact, that everything around them that we call life was made up by people who were no smarter than we were in school. And then they went about to change their life, influence it, and they built their own things that other people can use. Friend, once you learn that simple truth, you will never be the same again. All right, another great message, because too many of us are living small. That just doesn't work in my world, and it shouldn't work in yours, because you, dear friend, were made for more. And I hope you'll join me next week as we continue the journey as we work towards a better day for your rockstar amazing life. And remember, Deb doesn't care what the world says about you. I want you to know I care about you. And I care about you because I believe you can do big things. I truly believe that so many of you will never be the same again once you see the light at the end of the tunnel that could be your rockstar amazing future. And here's my promise. I'm going to walk alongside you as we follow that dream to greatness for your life together. All right, thanks for joining me. I hope you'll join me next week for Deb Sofield's Encouragement for Your Life. Take care, everybody.